I think it's time to stop with the George Floyd statues because it's the same reaction. It's rinse and repeat. Every time there's a George Floyd statue, anything that's up, George Floyd statue always get vandalized. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy LaRon, and we back with another video. You see the thumbnail, you see what this video is about. But before we get into this video, I want to say what's up to my subscribers. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you are new, please consider hitting subscribe and turn on notifications, because on the channel we do thought-provoking videos, reaction videos, and once a month I do a review on the Black-owned product. So if you're into that kind of content, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And please like and share this content. All right, let's get into this video. So there is another George Floyd statue that been put up, and within hours, maybe a couple of days, it's been vandalized. And this is an ongoing thing that every time George Floyd monuments and statues or whatever being placed, it's vandalized. So I want to show you a news clip. Then after I show you this news clip, I want to give you my reaction to these George Floyd statues, to what's going on with the George Floyd statues, and the reason why I think these George Floyd statues are being put up. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you this news clip, then let's get into it.
Tonight, the search is on to find the person who tried to tarnish the new George Floyd statue. It was barely up for 72 hours in Union Square before vandals splattered paint on it. News 4's Ida Siegel spoke to the woman who first reported it and shows us how a community came together quickly to restore the statue.
It was just after 10 in the morning, bright sunny day, when passersby noticed the statue of George Floyd, just erected here at Union Square a couple days ago, had been vandalized.
It had to be somebody that was sitting there waiting and watching. There was not one cop in the vicinity. Kira
Carter was there just before it happened. She took this picture, then went for a cup of coffee and came back to this a mere 20 minutes later. She and her fiance informed the park rangers, who hadn't noticed.
So my fiance, he said to them, hey, did you guys see what just happened? And they were like, what are you talking about? And he said, the paint on George Floyd's face. And they say, get out of here, you know.
Police say surveillance video shows a man on a skateboard rolling up to the statue and just throwing the paint on it. He then took off. Word spread quickly on social media, and soon enough, volunteers showed up to fix it. So did Floyd's brother, Terrence.
When I got here and I saw the community, the volunteers working on it, and I found out they was volunteers, they wasn't like city people doing it. I realized I just love this love and support.
Terrence Floyd was here on Thursday when the statue went up, and he remembers the last time a statue of his brother was vandalized months ago in Brooklyn.
Does it surprise you that this happened?
No, it disturbs me that it happened, because I'm wondering why do you hate my brother so much?
The George Floyd statue sits next to the likenesses of Brianna Taylor and Congressman John Lewis, an exhibit called See Injustice. Now organizers say it's an unfortunate example of that very struggle.
What do you want to see happen to the vandal who did this?
Well, I want to ask why, and then maybe to understand their perspective, because you know what, that's one of the things that we all struggle with, is to not be able to see the opposite side.
You can see the statue has since been fully restored. That's thanks to the volunteers. Police are still investigating, and they do have that surveillance video to look at, but at this point they have not made any arrests. Reporting from Union Square, Ida Siegel, News 4, New York.
All right, so there you have it. So you see that again, another George Floyd statue is vandalized. Not to mention, you had two other statues there that was untouched. So it's not like they're against the black people, they're against George Floyd, whoever's doing this, or whatever George Floyd is standing for. I think it's time to stop with the George Floyd statues because it's the same reaction. It's rinse and repeat. Every time there's a George Floyd statue, anything that's up, George Floyd statue always get vandalized. And this is a perfect example. You have two other statues there that's not touched. Only George Floyd, right? Only George Floyd statue was touched. So it's like, all right, why is it that they always want to attack the George Floyd? Some people feel like George Floyd was a criminal. He shouldn't be this martyr. He shouldn't be held at these standards. You know, some people are against the idea and just the mindset of George Floyd being like that, right? So they may want to throw paint. They may want to vandalize it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what George Floyd did in his life. I just know what people said about it. So I'm not here to judge George Floyd. But I know that people aren't too pleased with the idea of George Floyd, right? So that's one thing. Another thing, I think money that's being spent on these George Floyd statues, instead of being a George Floyd statue, should go back within the community, right? It should go back into maybe helping people get off of drugs, because they said that he did struggle with drugs, or help people, like the things that, if you want to honor, is my opinion, if you want to honor George Floyd, honor the things that he had issues with, try to help other people who have those issues, and use the money for that, not to put up statues to have a rinse and repeat. Statue put up is vandalized, statue put up vandalized. And to me, it's like, it's more hurt and hatred they got to keep putting out there, because that's what the news strive on. So the news is like, all right, George Floyd, statue's up, something's gonna happen to it. We could just now shift the direction of what's really going on and get people still be mad about what's going on with George Floyd, as opposed to, hey, why you're not putting money towards this, or why you're not putting money towards that, or why you're not fulfilling the promises that you said you're going to do, or why now you pushing out mandates, and why you firing nurses, and why you doing all this other stuff. You know what, let's put another statue up just to somebody vandalize it, and now they don't look at us no more. Because the statues, it seems like it's going up in like in democratic areas, right? Like New York, Chicago, whatever. They go in those type of areas, and once they go up, something happens to it, and nobody's now looking at the politicians for the promises they made. Now people are just looking at the people who vandalized the statue. And I think that's the main reason why they keep doing this. It's a rinse and repeat. You know what I'm saying? I think a big bronze statue of George Floyd cannot be cheap. That kind of money could have been allocated to something else that could help the people in the community, instead of putting a statue up and waiting for people to vandalize it. And once people vandalize it, people are mad about it, they rinse and repeat. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion on it, man. I just think that it's time for us to let the George Floyd statues go, because every time they go up, they always get vandalized. And once they get vandalized, we all get mad about it. Once we get mad about it, put another statue up, get vandalized again, we get mad, but we not looking at stuff that's really going on within our community to help ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion on it, man. Leave something in the comments. Do you think it's time for us to stop putting up the George Floyd statues because we know it's going to happen again and we're going to get upset about it and put the money somewhere else? Or should we keep putting up George Floyd statues because this is somebody that we want to honor? We want to keep putting up statues of this brother George Floyd. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Me, I think that it's time to let go of the George Floyd statues, because it's the same rinse and repeat over and over again. But that's just my thoughts on it, man. Appreciate your time. Leave something in the comments. All right, man. Till next time. Peace.